South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. But he died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Sunday. It is, of course, a beautiful day in our neighborhood. Hope it is where you're at as well. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our studio. The studio here at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in your gaming capital. And, of course, the South Point Studios streaming broadcast at YouTube. We welcome you to the show. And if you haven't tried it, please do so. Go to YouTube, punch in South Point Studios in the search bar. You'll get to the South Point Studios page. Then you'll click on the Race Day icon there, and then you'll be on our page. And on our page, not only can you see and hear us, but you can also join in the chat that we have. And in order to do that, you have to subscribe. Subscription is free in case you haven't already subscribed. Just go there, hit subscribe. It's free. And then you can start chatting away on a very, very active chat box on the Race Day show. Our chatters chat away every day, not only sharing information, but also commenting on the show and sharing late scratches, etc., like that, and selections too. Some of our chatters actually put picks on there as well. So join us on the YouTube Race Day Las Vegas site and on our chat box. Just subscribe if you haven't already. And so for those guys there, welcome. Welcome also to all of those running around town here early this morning on our listening to our show on our anchor radio station here in Las Vegas, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. And of course, all of our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global. iPhone, Android, and Google, well, you got the apps for the radio station and YouTube, the YouTube app and the KSHP app. You put on your devices, and you can hear us through the radio station and see us and hear us through the YouTube app as well. And, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting. Simply put, however, wherever, whenever. Welcome and good Sunday morning to you all. It is beautiful here in Las Vegas right now. Sunny outside. Ooh, the sun is shining bright. 46 degrees. We're going to get up to 73 today, 73 here in Las Vegas. And, of course, around the country, we're looking at mostly the weather there in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where today's the big day at Oaklawn Park. They're finally going to get the Rebel Stakes card underway today at Oaklawn Park. Temperatures in that part of the country right around in the mid to high 50s. Miami, 75, no question there. New York, 46, Chicago, 44, L.A., 80 degrees will be in L.A. today, so we're going to have some good racing down there at Santa Anita. And, of course, Phoenix, Arizona, 82. Coldest spot in the nation looks like it's right around International Falls and Buffalo, New York at 31 degrees. But otherwise, it looks pretty darn nice and clear around the country. A lot of activity is starting to brew up in the northwestern part of the contiguous 48. That is Washington, Oregon, and parts of Northern California, but it won't affect any of the racing, obviously, around the country. Idaho's getting some snow, as well as the Great Lakes area, and some parts of New York as well, but not anywhere near the city at Aqueduct. It's going to be a beautiful day at Aqueduct. A lot of activity going on down there in Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and the eastern part of Texas. A lot of rain and stuff going on down there, so fairgrounds will probably be more than off going today at the fairgrounds. But otherwise, looks pretty darn good around the country. All I could say is when we left yesterday morning, the races in Saudi Arabia at the King Abdulaziz racecourse, we had yet the big races yet to come. You remember that we had, while we were on the air, just before we got on the air, I should say, Straight No Chaser, the big Breeders' Cup Sprint winner and Southern California-based horse, Straight No Chaser, won the Riyadh Sprint under John Velasquez. But later on in the day, probably the most exciting race in a long, long time happened in the $20 million Saudi Cup, of course, in Saudi Arabia. It was the big race. The Saudi Cup was the final race on the card at a mile and 1/8. And in this race, It really started developing right around the top of the stretch. When they were coming off the top of the stretch, Romantic Warrior made this huge move on the outer part, on the outside of the track. He went out. He was about 4 wide around the track, but he made this awesome move, got to the leaders, and actually started pulling away. Forever Young was among those leaders, and Forever Young, mid-stretch, started re-rallying, and we were coming to the wire, and Romantic Warrior had the lead, but Forever Young was cutting into that lead with every stride, and these two then hooked up, and they just battled right to the wire, head to head, eye to eye, nose to nose, and Forever Young eked out the win in a dramatic driving finish in the Saudi Cup, and Forever Young wins the Saudi Cup. For Romantic Warrior was second. Ushipa Tesoro was third, and Wilson Tesoro finished fourth. But what an exciting, exciting race there. And if you remember, Jonathan Nardoon on the show said he didn't handicap the race, but he thought it looked like Romantic Warrior and Forever Young, they came down together. So Jonathan's prediction in the exacta there. They were showing dollar payoffs on the system. They were showing $1 payoffs on the results system, and the $1 exacta in that race paid $9.60. But an exciting day of racing early in the morning in Saudi Arabia, and congratulations to the folks with Forever Young, a horse that certainly was due a big win after his 3-year-old campaign last year, and of course our Southern California favorite, Straight No Chaser there. Then back into the continental United States, we got to Aqueduct Racecourse. Now, Aqueduct Racecourse, Jose Lezcano. Jose Lezcano had a couple of wins, make that 3 wins yesterday at Aqueduct. Jose Lezcano won the first race for Chris Engelhardt, paying $7.70. Then he came back in the 6th race for Linda Rice at $3.70. Came right back in the 7th race with another Linda Rice trainee that paid $4.50. So Lezcano wins 3 races out of the first 7. Linda Rice back-to-back with 2 winners on the day. And all in all, it was a pretty good day for those guys. As far as the feature race, the Heavenly Prize Invitational, the winner there in a big upset was Bernie Takes the Charge, who took the charge early in the race and was never caught. Bernie Takes the Charge under Romero Mirage, paid $37 to win for trainer Dominic Schettino. Finishing second was the big 2-5 favorite in the race. Weigh the Risks. Finishing third was Kid's Last Laugh in the abbreviated Heavenly Prize. In that race, 7 were entered, 2 were scratched, which meant there were only 4 horses in the race, and the long shot won it. Bernie Takes Charge wins the Heavenly Prize. Jose Lezcano finished off his 4th win of the day. Came back and had 4 winners yesterday, Lezcano did. He won the last race for Mike Maker, paying $5.70. And we want to thank Jonathan Nardoon for his selection at Aqueduct yesterday. That horse, Emirates Road, won for Brad Cox, was bet down from 7-2, won the race and paid $5 even. So he's a hot horse on the board there, Jonathan Nardoon's pick at Aqueduct yesterday. Pick 6 paid $1,601 yesterday. But the early pick 5, because of that big $37 huge winner in the Heavenly Prize over the 2-5 favorite, winning price is $7.70. The second race paid $50 even. Then came the $37 horse, and then wound up with $6.90 and $4.50. But the damage was done in the second and third races in the early pick 5 yesterday at Aqueduct. That pick 5 paid $15,879.50. A couple of big long shots helping there. Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park, Junior Alvarado. He had a big day. He had 3 wins on the card. He won the second race for Bill Mott, paying $26.60. Came back in the 6th race for Jose D'Angelo, paying $3.60. Wound up winning the 12th and final race for Wesley Ward, paying $5.40. Edgard Zayas won 2 races, both races for trainer Todd Pletcher, who had a double on the card. They won the 9th race at $10.40, came back in the 11th race and paid $3.60 with the Tucson, the horse Tucson, that set a new track record for the 1 1/8 distance at Gulfstream Park. Track record 1 minute 47 and 33 100ths. New track record set by Tucson in winning the 11th race yesterday at Gulfstream Park. The feature race of the day, the Gulfstream Park Sprint, was won by Super Chow. Jorge Ruiz for Jorge Delgado, paying $8.40, ran that 6 furlongs in 109 3. And I just want to make one more mention on the card yesterday at Gulfstream Park. By the way, trainer Richard Rohan Crichton, I should say, had a couple of wins. He won the third race with Gonzalez aboard at 640, came back in the eighth race and paid $640 with Gonzalez aboard that one as well. So Gonzalez had a couple of wins along with Richard Crichton yesterday at Gulfstream. But I do want to make mention of the one thing. When we tell you about our handicappers work hard. They have their sheets out there, and they pick out of their sheets, a horse to give us for their race day picks. But I always emphasize on the fact that you ought to take a look at the body of their work as well. Yesterday at Gulfstream Park, Jonathan Hardoon's selection sheet had 7 of the 9 races, 7 of 9 top picks yesterday. Okay, he had 7 top picks on his sheet yesterday out of the races, 4 in a row. He won the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th races with his top picks on his sheet yesterday. Jonathan did a great job at Gulfstream yesterday on his sheets. And as I always say, they just give us a little sampling of what they do. They try to pick out a nice horse for us on the show, but their body of work, these guys do work hard. They put in the time, and his sheet was really productive yesterday at Gulfstream. Jonathan Hardoon's sheet. I'll have another one at Gulfstream today. All right, Santa Anita. Santa Anita yesterday. We want to congratulate Sofia Baradella. Sofia Baradella had her first Santa Anita win yesterday in the second race for Jorge Parabon, paying $7 even. Juan Hernandez had a couple of wins yesterday. Leading jockey Juan Hernandez won the Wishing Well aboard Jeff Mullins-trained Queen Maxima, easily paying $2.60 as the big favorite in that race. Marais Girl finished second, and finishing third in the race was Lorloon. Lorloon finished third in that race. Other jockeys that had multiple winners yesterday, Kyle Frey won 2 in a row. He won the 6th race for Dan Markle, paying $4.60, came back for Craig Lewis in the 7th race, paying $12.60. And like I said, Juan Hernandez had 2 wins on the card as well. His second win came on a Bob Baffert trainee in the 8th race, paying $9.40. That was, of course, a maiden race. Bob Baffert ran first and second in that race with his 2 entries there. And then the last race winner paid $78. Prancing through Paris, went gate to wire on a perfectly rationed ride by Armando Ayuso for Peter Urton. Peter Urton, $78 winner there. And that exploded the final pick 5 of the day. Final pick 5 of the day, prices were $4.60, $12.60, $9.40, $20.80, and $78 even. That pick 5 paid $15,374.05. Nobody put all 6 together in the pick 6, so you got to carry over in the pick 6 today at Santa Anita. The 5s yesterday paid $524.60 yesterday at Santa Anita. Late last night at Turfway Park, the John Battaglia Memorial had 20 Kentucky Derby leaderboard points up for grabs. The winner there, going wire to wire, was California Burrito. California Burrito, under Irving Moncada, returned the win there at $9.42 for trainer Tom Drury. Second was Baby Max. Baby Max, the favorite of the race. Maximum Promise was third. Note that in this race, the big favorite before in the morning line, First Resort, was scratched in that race, and Refreshing Baytown, Brenton Baytown, I should say, was also scratched in the race. He was a big long shot in there. Congratulations to California Burrito, who wins the John Battaglia, gets 20 Kentucky Derby points on the Kentucky Derby points list. Couple of races at Tampa Bay for $125,000. The Lightning City was won by Great Valenzuela. Leonel Reyes' second win of the day at $620 for Victor Barbosa. And the Turf Dash was won by Rookie for Sammy Camacho for Gerald Bennett, paying $42.20 in an upset in the Turf Dash at Tampa Bay. Finally, at Laurel, a couple of $100,000 stakes races there. The Wide Country won by Onyx 10 for J.G. Torrebiella. Artura Rialba, I should say, Turrialba. Gary Capuano trained that one, paying $8.20. That was Turrialba's second win on the day there at Laurel. And Barbadan Runner won the Miracle Wood. That stakes race for Forrest Boyce and Henry Walters, paying $10.20. Some of the big stakes races around the country yesterday. But today, the big card is at Oak Lawn Park. The Rebel Stakes, the Honeybee, 50 points each for the Kentucky Oaks Kentucky Derby leaderboard, and a great card at Oak Lawn Park. Finally, we're going to get to that Rebel card today at Oak Lawn, and of course, all of the other racetracks out there as well. Searching for winners with our handicappers. And all I can say is we got Jonathan Hardoon standing by, Rich Eng, John Lindo, and Jerry Jackowitz, of course, and your racing menu. We're just starting out on this Sunday, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Race Day Las Vegas for this Sunday. Time to get you your racing menu for today. We remind you, as we always do, the first post times we broadcast on the show each and every day reflect the first post times, the start times of the Pacific time zone, because that's where we're at here in Las Vegas. And of course, these will be the first post times that roll out in our race book at South Point, right behind me on this main floor. If you are listening and watching our show anywhere else in any other time zone around the world, adjust the first post times from the Pacific time zone to your particular time zone to adjust it for you so you don't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? Here we go. Here's the menu for today. We begin with Laurel Park. Now, Laurel Park has a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $3,475, and their first post time for 8 races today is set at 9:10. 9:10 today at Laurel Park. Next comes Tampa Bay Downs. Tampa Bay Downs has a first post time of 9:25 for 10 races. 10 races today at Tampa Bay. Mostly full fields there. First post time 9:25 at Tampa Bay. Aqueduct, the Big A in New York. Going to be 38 degrees, they say, at post time. But the track is fast, and it's sunny out there at Aqueduct today. First post time is 9:40 at the Big A. Their feature race today is the Broadway. The Broadway is the 9th race on the card. 7 furlongs for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. We have several scratches. This was an 11-horse field at one time, but scratch number 1, Bonadou. Number 2, Catchphrase. Number 5, Bernie Takes Charge. Number 8, Kara's Time. And number 10, Snappin' Buttons. Numbers 1, 2, 5, 8, and 10 are scratched out of that 9th race. So taking those 5 out of that race now leaves just a field of 6 in the Broadway. And that's the 9th race on the card. The morning line favorite at 5-2 is Tough Street for Eric Cancel aboard. 10 races today at the Big A. First post time is at 9:40. Gulfstream Park is next. Gulfstream Park has 10 races. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover is starting to build now. The Pick 6 Rainbow jackpot carryover, $178,514. 10 races today at Gulfstream. And a first post time of 9:50. 9:50. Then we go to Oak Lawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Oak Lawn Park has a first post time of 10 a.m. today. 5 stakes races will roll out like this. The first one will be the 4th race, the Carousel, for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up at 6 furlongs. 9 go to the post in this one. And the favorite in there on the morning line is Justique at 5-2 with Jose Ortiz. Then we have the next stakes race, the Travista Stakes, $145,000 race at a mile and 16th for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. 11 go to the post in this one. This is before scratches now, folks. The 5-2 favorite there is Penoir with Flavien Prat aboard. Then we go to the $500,000 Grade 3 Honeybee Stakes for 3-year-old fillies at a mile and 16th. This race offers 50 Kentucky Oaks leaderboard points to the winner. You've got 13 entered before scratches. Big 7-5 favorite there is Mohima with Florent Garreau aboard. And that is, of course, Florent Garreau aboard, the favorite breaking from the rail in the Honeybee. Then the 10th race will be the $500,000 Grade 3 Razorback at a mile and 16th for 4-year-olds and up. A field of 14 before scratches. And this race, the morning line favorite, is Lukewarm at 7-2, and that is Banishing with Flavien Prat aboard. Then the main event, the $1,250,000 Grade 2 Rebel Stakes. This has 50 Kentucky Derby leaderboard points to the winner. You've got 14 entered before any scratches. And in this race, the favorite is at 4-1 on the morning line. That's Sandman with Christian Torres aboard. This is a great competitive race for 3-year-olds, the Rebel. It's the 11th race on the card. 12 races overall today at Oaklawn and a first post time of 10 a.m. The fairgrounds, they're coming off the turf today at the fairgrounds. The weather, as I say, pretty bad down there, but the weather, they're off the turf. So that means the 3rd race will be off the turf. The 7th race will be off the turf. 3rd and 7th races off the turf. The rest will be on a track that's going to start off labeled good. First post time at the fairgrounds. Hey, they got a pick 6 carryover, a regular pick 6 carryover. This is not a jackpot of $5,481. Their first post time is at 10:45 for their 8-race card today at the fairgrounds. Sunland Park has all quarter horses today. They've got 9 quarter horses, and their first post time at Sunland Park is set at 11:25 at Sunland Park. Then we go to Santa Anita in Southern California. Santa Anita has 10 races today. No stakes races on the Sunday card at Santa Anita, but they do have 10 races today there. That crazy 3x3 bet carryover, $3,726. First post time at Santa Anita set at 12:30 today, 12:30. Turfway Park has 10 races. Turfway Park has their first post time at 1:15 today. 1:15 at Turfway Park today for their 10-race card, and mostly full fields there. And then we wrap it up with Los Alamitos in Southern California. 9 races, 1 thoroughbred, 5 mixed breed, 3 quarter horses. The last race is a quarter horse stakes race for $97,500 at 3-year-olds going 350 yards. Los Alamitos, of course, will seed the pick 6 pot today at $10,000. 10 grand in the pick 6 pot already for the pick 6 today at Los Al. First post time is at 5 p.m. That's your Sunday menu. Time to go out to Jonathan Nardoon standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. They're getting a little bit warmer now. It's beautiful. The sun is shining so bright outside. I had, reflective a little bit in the mirror this morning driving in, but nevertheless, beautiful day in our neighborhood. And we finally get the Rebel card underway today.
Yeah, just one thing about yesterday. What a terrific horse Forever Young is, Ralph. I mean, he looked like he was beat when the other horse blew by him, and he just came right back. That was a terrific race, like you said. And usually those races don't live up to it, but that race lived up to it.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Romantic Warrior got like 2 lengths on him, right? At the top of the stretch. And then Forever Young just came fighting back. They hooked up and they hit the wire together. It was a race that was worth every bit of $20 million.
Yeah, as long as you're not writing the check, you're right.
Yeah, that's correct. And we kind of, subliminally, we kind of do because we're buying gas, try to gas prices. Exactly. So we're kind of writing the check, but in an odd way. In any case, I'm glad to see Forever Young finally won a big race because he was so unfortunate as a 3-year-old in so many of his races.
You're right. He's been a very unlucky horse, Ralph. With a little luck, he could have at least 2 or 3 more wins on the resume. But listen, for $20 million, he picked the right day to step up. And the interesting thing is, after the horse crossed over on him, he took back and went around. And I thought he was done, but really a terrific effort.
He showed a lot of fight in him, really a competitor, the horse, Forever Young. And it was a great morning to start off the morning with the big races in Saudi Arabia. But now today we look forward to Oaklawn Park, the big racing card at Oaklawn Park. And all I can tell you about the Rebel Stakes is that thing looks wide open to me.
It is wide open, and you know one thing for sure, Ralph. They're going to overplay Sandman. I mean, Sandman was terrific last time out. The problem is everybody saw the trouble that he had at the start. He almost lost the rider, and he came flying and finished second. I mean, he had every right to pull up after that start. So horses like that, if you're looking to bet them back, they're not good bets because everybody saw the trouble. It's not like it's hidden. So the price is going to be reflected on what everybody saw. So horses like that usually are underlays, and personally, I like to play against horses like that.
Well, I can tell you this, that, trainers often have horses, they train them up to the race that they're running in, and so he might have been wound up and ready to go in that race. Can he get him rewound up and get a good break today is the other question, too. And at that price with Sandman and as wide open as this race is, I'm looking someplace else.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ralph. Again, he could certainly win. He ran super last time out, but I would look elsewhere. And Bullard is obviously a big scratch in there. So they're only going to have 13 horses, only 13. That's pretty good. I have an opinion there, Ralph. I like the number 9 horse, Smokin' Wicked, a 3-year-old colt from the Dallas Stewart barn. This horse is going to stretch out to 1 mile and a 16 today for the first time, but he's gotten real good his last 3 starts. He really turned it around. First time over Oaklawn, not an easy thing to do, but Tyler Gaffleone's going in to ride. The horse is listed at 8-1 on the morning line. I think number 9, Smokin' Wicked, is worth somewhat of a play.
Tyler Gaffleone on Smokin' Wicked will break from post 9 in the mile and 16th race in there. You've got Irad Ortiz Jr. riding for Bob Baffert today in the Rebel on a horse called Matticat Road. Of course, his main rider, Juan Hernandez, I guess, is staying back and going to be riding at California, I guess, today. But Irad gets the call on Matticat Road. And, of course, you got Flavien Prat aboard a horse called Publisher. Publisher
20 to 1, 20 to 1 on the
Yeah, 20 to 1 on the morning line. Please explain this to me.
I mean, the fact that first of all, the horse is a maiden running against winners. I mean, he's a maiden stepping into a stake race. Listen, it's Steve Asmussen, so obviously he knows what he's doing. But they must have sold Pratt some bill of goods to get him to ride a maiden in a stake race. Listen, his son has ridden the horse in the past, Eric Asmussen. They're going to Flavien Prat. I would assume that's a bit of an upgrade. But you don't often see Flavien Prat on a 20 to 1 shot in a stake race.
And for a guy like Steve Asmussen, remember, last week in one of the big stakes races at Sunland, Asmussen had a horse that was a giant price and won that too. So beware of that fact. You're right. I mean, I don't know what his barn told the agent for Flavien Prat, but they sold a good job there, and they got him to ride that horse. So I would think that everybody thinking like us, when they bet the race, as wide open as it is, this horse won't be 20 to 1, but he'll be a good price anyhow. I mean, a maiden in this race, getting Flavien Prat to ride, we'll wait and see about that. Prat does ride for Baffert, but yet Irad Ortiz gets the mount on Matticat Road. I'm figuring that maybe Irad's connections told Baffert if this horse moves on to the Derby, they'd like to ride him there. So maybe that's the reason. But earlier in the day, in the 5th race, a race at 6 furlongs for 3-year-old maidens, and this has a purse of $110,000. Baffert sends out a horse called Cornucopian. Cornucopian was a $1.1 million purchase for Baffert, and he uses Irad Ortiz Jr. on this horse as well. So maybe Ortiz got to ride. He wanted to ride.
They gave him the whole package.
Yeah,
they got the Baffert package. You're riding for Baffert, you get the whole package. Listen, this is interesting that he's shipping a first-time starter there. It reminds you a little bit of Barnes. When he shipped Barnes to Churchill the day he got off of the poop list that he was on there, and he unveiled a $3 million horse that ran super. That's actually the favorite for the Derby at this point. So the fact that he's shipping this horse there obviously has to mean something. But a lot of times when they ship, they pay for a whole row, whatever. So maybe they just included him and sent him along.
You mean shipping as far as the
Yeah,
capacity,
the horses.
the capacity on the plane?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you have to buy a whole row where you get 3 stalls or
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
is. So
yeah, yeah. That's a good little tidbit for people to understand that. And Cornucopian, of course, goes that, like I said, in the 5th race. But it's a really neat maiden race for 3-year-olds. There's a lot of talented horses in this race, or
yeah, you have some horses.
talented bred horses, I should say.
And you have horses that have already run well. This is no easy spot, you know. But the big race of the day is obviously the Rebel. But listen, the Honeybee is another terrific race there. Brad Cox sends out Mohima, and all this filly's done is win, win, and win. She's won 3 races from 3 starts, and each race really better than the previous one. She's going to be odds on, but deservedly so.
And of course, that Honeybee will start out the last pick 4 of the day. It's a late pick 4 and part of a late pick 5. It'll be the second in a late pick 5 at Oaklawn Park. And a lot of people will be singling Mohima in this race. Just doesn't look like there's too much behind her that should give her a problem. I think if Mahina gets speed in the race, she's going to get beat by Mahina.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In any case, I know that you have a handicapping sheet for Oaklawn Park today, and do you? I shouldn't have said.
Yes, of course.
Okay. You got a sheet for Oaklawn Park, and so your pick. You're going to make the Rebel a pick for you from Oaklawn.
You can put it down.
Okay.
No penalty.
All right.
I'm not going to charge you extra, Ralph.
All right. So.
By the way, Ralph, tomorrow, Monday, they have a special day at Oaklawn, so I'll have selections up there as well for Monday.
You'll have a sheet there for Oaklawn as well tomorrow. It's one of those makeup days. But we're going to put you down in the Rebel Stakes for number 9, Smokin' Wicked, the 9 in the 11th race. And, of course, other great stakes races. The Razorback for the handicap division was a deep field as well of 14 in that race. And like I said, that's a wide-open event, too. Florent Garou rides First Mission at 5-1 that I think is a horse you have to use in that race.
That's another Brad Cox horse coming off of a layoff that's doing well for his return.
All right. Well, Jonathan, now that we picked your brain and got a few out of you for Oaklawn Park, we'll get the rest of your picks today.
All right, let's go to Aqueduct, look at the 9th race. And you're right, Ralph, a lot of late scratches. They have 5 of them, but we still have a field of 6, 7 furlongs on the main track. This is a stake race today, and I like the number 6 horse in here, My Magic Wand, a 4-year-old filly from the red-hot Gregory Sacco barn. If you remember, Ralph, on Friday, this trainer went 3 for 3. Well, this is his first start since Friday. This filly has done nothing wrong. She's listed at 9-2 on the morning line. Will be a shorter price now with the late scratches. But believe it or not, all the late scratches were 20-1s and up. They were all bombs who really didn't have much of a chance anyway. That being said, I like number 6, Magic Wand. Manny Franco aboard for Gregory Sacco, 9th race today out at Aqueduct.
And that is the Broadway Stakes, 9th race, number 6, My Magic Wand. All right, next, let's go to Gulfstream. You were really hot with your sheet there yesterday.
Yeah, let's look at the 5th race today, Ralph. It's 5.5 furlongs on Tapeta, and I love the number 2 horse in here, Warlord Cruisin'. This is a 6-year-old gelding who was claimed last time out by trainer Carlos Navarez. This train has been doing terrific. Jose Morales aboard to ride. I like the barn switch. I like the 8-1 on the morning line. And I think this horse gets a good trip in here. Number 2, Warlord Cruisin', wins today's 5th race out at Gulfstream.
And that'll be the anchor race in the early pick 4 and early pick 5 at Gulfstream Park. 5th race, number 2, Warlord Cruisin', the 2 in the 5th. We'll wrap it up at Santa Anita.
5th race today, opening leg of the pick 6, and there is a pick 6 carryover. Well, I got a single for you here, Ralph. Number 4, Southern Tornado, a 3-year-old colt from the Taylor Faith barn, or the Faith Taylor barn. Abel Castellanos aboard to ride. This horse has a race over Santa Anita last time out and actually ran very, very well at a big price. You're not going to get the 93-1 this time, but this horse is going to win. Number 4, Southern Tornado, pick 6 single. Today's 5th race out at Santa Anita.
And it's also the anchor in the early pick 5 and early pick 4 at Santa Anita. In the 5th race, the 4, Southern Tornado. Southern Tornado, the 4 in the 5th race. Remember, folks, Jonathan Hardoon has full sheets for Gulfstream, Aqueduct, Oaklawn, and Santa Anita today. And he'll have an Oaklawn sheet for tomorrow, special Monday card at Oaklawn Park as well at your website.
JONHJRDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
You got it, my man. We'll talk to you on Wednesday. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Rich Eng is standing by. Don't go away.
Here we are in Houston, opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that's going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risked their lives and are struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We're also building what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space and give them back some of their dignity, some of their independence, and most certainly give them back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grandview Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grandview Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grandview Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas to wrap up this week of Race Day shows, covering the great sport of kings of thoroughbred racing, of course. And now we go to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, it was an exciting day in the Saudi Cup yesterday. That was for sure, starting the day out early and ran right through the day. A couple of nice, interesting racing cards around the country, some impressive performances, and some of the races that we didn't expect. We had a track record, I think, at, if I'm not mistaken, it was at Gulfstream Park. I did the results. Can't remember, though, but anyhow. There were a lot of good racing yesterday, and now we point our attentions to Hot Springs, Arkansas, for the big Rebel Stakes Day out there at Oaklawn Park.
Yeah, and actually, I do have an opinion in the Rebel Stakes. The horse that I like is the number 13, Tiztastic. This is from the Winchell Barn, which had that horse Magnitude just run off the charts the last time out for the Winchells and Steve Asmussen. But this is an interesting horse to me, and the fact it picks up Jose Ortiz off a good race last time out for Steve Asmussen. So I'm going to put my hat in the ring for 13, Tiztastic.
All right, you got Tiztastic in there. Kind of would almost be kind of poetic justice after what happened to Magnitude, and then him running off of the Triple Crown Trail with a chip in his ankle. But it's going to be a wide open race and a great race there, that's for sure. And Richie, I know that you're studying hard all of the college basketball games around the country. You're going to be our guy on the scene, our guy to give us some direction when we get to the, of course, the playoffs in the conferences, et cetera, and of course the NCAA tournament as well. But for now, we'll take your selection at San Anita.
Yeah, let's go to race number 4. I'm trying to break a losing streak this week, Ralph. To me, this is a surest type winner in the 4th race, a sprint on the grass. Number 7, Special Flower. And word to the wise, Frankie Dettori is on some really, really live mounts. I really think he has a great chance to win 3, maybe 4 races on the card today, Dettori. So let's go with Special Flower. Number 7 in race 4.
Well, maybe they're going to give him traveling money because at the end of the month he goes down to Florida and then on to Kentucky and then into New York for the rest of the year. So we'll get him some traveling money with the 4th race. Your pick, the 7, Special Flower. Frankie Dettori aboard the 7 in the 4th race at Santa Anita. Remember, Rich Eng's got a full sheet of handicapping for Santa Anita today at the Race Day Las Vegas website. Just go to Race Day Las Vegas, click Richie's icon on the page, and you'll get to his picks. Hey, thanks a lot, Rich. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, we're going to take a final break real quick, and when we come back, John and Jerry standing by. Don't go away.
Get ready to laugh with Punchlines with Frank Nicotero. Join Frank and his team of featured guests for your daily dose of comedy.
Reno, the Pittsburgh of the West.
Poison.
Yeah.
Poison.
Sports.
F for Falcons, Alex. We were talking Derek Carr for MVP after 2 games. Okay, me. I was.
And the funniest social media posts.
People want to show off their food. Boom. Wiener on a guy's shoulder. It's the dark Colts. We bleed blue.
It's your one-stop spot for great laughs and a good time. Find us on YouTube at Punchlines FN. And join the chat live weekdays at noon Pacific for the ultimate blend of jokes, sports, and viral fun.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All righty, putting the final touches on our Sunday show, we go to Southern California where John Lindo's standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. I failed to mention that Santa Anita on our menu, that Santa Anita does have a pick 6 carryover today, right?
Right, $51,000 starts in race number 5 on the 10-race card.
Yeah, I failed to mention that, but I should have. And that's the carryover at Santa Anita after that big $78 bomb in the last race, trained by Peter Urton. And you got a $78 winner at a Peter Urton in the last race yesterday at Santa Anita. An interesting day of racing around the country and around the world, really.
Oh, it was fun. And that Saudi Cup, unbelievable. 2 really good horses throwing it down. And I hope we get to see a rematch of them sometime because and that Forever Young, he's just relentless. He was beaten and he came back and he just ran down a champion. It's hard to run down a horse that's won $22 million.
Yeah, well, you run them down in a race for $20 million and you're catching up as far as the bankroll is concerned, that's for sure. But in any case, a big day of racing today. Finally, we're going to get the Rebel Stakes card today at Oaklawn Park. And I know that you did an Oaklawn sheet as well as a full Oaklawn sheet and a full Santa Anita sheet on your Lindo report today. They can get both of those reports complete here at the South Point Racebook free of charge, the only place in Las Vegas you can get John Lindo's Lindo reports for today. And that's here at the South Point Racebook because they love horse players here. What say you about the Rebel?
You guys talked about the maiden publisher. I like him. He's 20-1 on the program. He clipped heels, almost went down in the stretch in the prep race, and he probably would have been right there. And you don't see Asmussen run maidens in these kind of races. And, you know, Flavian Pride gets the call. I don't think he'll be 20-1, but if we get half that in a race where about 6 or 7 horses can win, I think there's plenty of value on publisher there. And, you know, just looking at the race, I think Sandman will get overbet, like you mentioned. There are a couple of up-and-coming horses like Dreamin' in Blue, who's 15-1, and Hypnus for the Kenny McPeak stable. He was really impressive. A really, really good rendition of the Rebel. I want to see who comes out of this race.
Well, I know one thing for sure. Pratt doesn't have a mountain in the Honeybee Stakes, and so the main thrust, I think, for getting him into Oaklawn Park today has got to be the Rebel Stakes. I know he has a mount in the Razorback in Banish, but the Rebel Stakes, to get Pratt to come aboard and ride a maiden in a stakes race for Steve Asmussen must tell you a lot.
Well, again, these guys are all trying to find a Derby horse, so they're going to go where they can, and you align yourself with a guy who's got a lot of loaded barrels like Steve Asmussen, and you might find something right there.
Well, not only that, but in Flavian Pratt's case, I think it's a Derby horse looking for Pratt. But in any case, we'll wait and see about that. That's for sure. Kind of, he's got poetic justice on his side with that winner in the Risen Star that's now on the shelf.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, he rides for Bob Baffert, too, so he's going to have some chances with the West Coast horses, but we'll see how all this shakes out. But this is a really good prep race today, and, well, you know, I hope it's a little more cleanly run than the Southwest, which was a rodeo down there last time.
John, you have always said and told us that Bob Baffert always sends out what he calls the beer money horse on at a racetrack on a day when he has a major horse going in a stakes race. But at $1.1 million purchase, I don't think a Cornucopian would qualify as a beer money horse, but he runs in the 5th race, that $110,000 maiden special weight race. How do you see that?
Well, he's been working with a horse named Romanesque, who's on the Derby Trail in Southern California. He's been working heads up with him. And you're right. When you have those big price tags and you have a chance to run for the purses for maidens over 100,000, like they do at Oaklawn Park, and like Jonathan Hardoon said, when you book flights to go across country, it's cheaper to book 2 or 3 stalls as opposed to one. So, Bob Baffert, okay, well, I'll throw this one on the plane. I've got Mattocket Road for the Rebel. Let's throw this one on there too. And Bullard was on that plane, and it's a little cheaper for the 3 of them to go as opposed to one.
Any word of Bullard's scratch? Why?
I think he spiked a temperature or had a hot foot. It was nothing major, but it was enough to stop him from running today.
Do you think he encountered that in the travel?
It was announced after the race was drawn a long time ago, and I think he went out there, but I am not sure.
Okay. And Oaklawn Park, of course, hopefully the conditions will be great today. And your Linda report covers all of the 12 races today. And I do believe you might have a pick for us there as well.
Absolutely. Again, a terrific card to play top to bottom. In the race number 6 today, number 7, Lambeth, missed the break last time, got caught 5 or 6 wide all the way around, and still tried to finish. I thought he ran really well. If he breaks today, he'll be a lot closer to the pace. And I just think he's coming out of a lot better race than it looks on paper. Anything close to the 10-1 morning line, I'm all in here. Race number 6, number 7, Lambeth at Oaklawn Park.
All right. In the 6th race, number 7, Lambeth. The 7 in the 6th race is your pick. If you have a fleeting thought about the Honeybee, we'll take it.
The race goes through Mohima. I've been really impressed with her. And, she doesn't have to have the lead from the rail. She can go or she can sit. She controls the race, and she's probably the most logical single for me in the rolling bets back half of the card.
Okay, and unusual today that we don't have a stakes race on a weekend, on a Sunday at Santa Anita, but that's the case today for 10 races, but the carryover in the pick 6 will spice up a little bit for the horse players, and it looks like a good competitive card. Yeah, I got a selection there at Santa Anita.
Yeah, I'm on the same horse as John Hardoon. Race number 5, number 4, Southern Tornado. This horse really finished up well and galloped out well first try over the Santa Anita dirt. I think this horse wants to route. There's a lot of bad speed in this race. So just sit, take your time, and if he finishes the way he did last time, he'll win. 4-1 on the program, number 4, Southern Tornado, race 5, Santa Anita.
All right, a handicapper's good housekeeping seal of approval. 2 handicappers on the same horse in the 5th race, the anchor race in the early pick 4 and early pick 5 at Santa Anita. You, Jonathan and John, like number 4, Southern Tornado, the 4 in the 5th race. Don't forget, those Linda reports available right now for all of Santa Anita and all of Oaklawn Park, right here at the South Point. One quick ask, John, are you going to do a Oaklawn Park Linda report for tomorrow?
No, I am not. It's tax season, Ralph. I got to work on the other stuff.
Well, let's hope they abolish the IRS soon then, I guess.
Exactly. I hope I hit a win on that side of the fence.
There you go. Hey, thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
All right. Good luck today.
Let's get out to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph.
You got a thought about the Rebel?
No.
Okay. So we'll get to your picks then, both for Aqueduct and Santa Anita.
Yeah. Let's go to the final race at Aqueduct.
Okay.
The 10th race. On my sheet, the race number in the 10 has disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Well,
number 4, Melancia.
Okay.
Number 4, Melancia from Robert Tross looks almost like Death in Taxes to me. I mean, it looks really, really good.
Okay.
3-1 is, I consider, an overlay. I like this horse an awful lot. Just it seems better than everybody, but we don't know about the first-time starters. So it's only relative to the other horses that have run that comment about Death in Taxes. But
okay.
The 3-1 against a bunch of first-time starters seems pretty reasonable. I'll take the 4, Melancia. Then over the 3, 6, 7, 8. Reverse 3, 6, 7, 8 back over the 4. But the 4 should win, I think.
Okay, 10th and final race at Aqueduct today, number 4, Melancia. The 4 over 3, 6, 7, 8, and reverse. The 4 in the 10th at Aqueduct. And now we'll get to Santa Anita.
I'm going to win 2 cups of coffee here today.
Okay.
I like Looking for Curly, the 5 horse in race number 5.
All right. All right. We got a lot of action, folks, in that 5th race at Santa Anita. And Jerry's going to take on John and Jonathan with the 5, Looking for Curly.
Yeah, it's like the Triple J, Jerry, John, and we're all in there. I like the 5 an awful lot. A little fresh. I tried turf, wasn't quite the right thing. Maybe a little too tough, a little bit out of position there. Back to the dirt. I think the cult will improve a little bit. I'll take the 5 over the 4, 7, 8, and 10. Reverse 4, 7, 8, and 10 back over the 5. But because I happen to like my bros here, I'm going to bet 4, 5, 5, 4 a bunch extra.
Okay, good enough. Your play will give out your play as it stands, the 5 over 4, 7, 8, and 10, and reverse. But Jerry, in respect to Jonathan and John, is going to punch in the 4, 5, 5, 4 a few more times there. And as you know, when we have handicappers in the same race, have different horses, that constitutes a Siraco play. And so the Siraco play today in the 5th race will be the exacta box of 4, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4. That's the Siraco play there at Santa Anita. And don't forget, Jerry J's power pages for all of Santa Anita and all of Aqueduct are available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. All right, Jerry, well, we're wrapping up the week, reminding everybody you'll be back with us on Wednesday to give us a thought or two about more betting strategies and how to look at the races, etc., from your perspective. And want to remind everybody that there will be a special Monday racing card at Oak Lawn Park. Oak Lawn Park has a Monday card, one of the makeup races. But for today, all eyes will be on Oak Lawn Park for the big Rebel Stakes card there as well. And so we want to wish everybody a very happy Sunday, a bright and sunny Sunday for you. We'll be back Wednesday morning, God willing, and the creek don't rise at 7 a.m. In the meantime, for all of our handicappers and all of our viewers, and me personally, Jerry's got one more thing to say. Go ahead, Jerry.
Have a great race day, everybody.